So going back to the pub thing, like those two people will be fighting outside the pub, but there'll be another 90 people inside the pub just having a nice time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. And you just think, I think I just get into this thing when I'm like, like when you're not well and like you're having problems and then it's just all like, it's just me. It's just all about me and everything's happening to me. And you just assume that no one else gets it. Because it does, it puts you in your own little club of one. And then you think, when you go to a pub or something, like all the blokes, I just make these sweeping statements. All the blokes talking about fucking, like they're just being sexist wankers, or sport. And I can't get on with that, which then just confirms that I'm a fucking weirdo and I should be on my own and I should be dead. But that's probably not true, is it?
No, they're probably talking about Love Island and what happened at work and relationships. And...
Yeah, but so you say like, you could go, they're talking about Love Island and not Love Island's like shit. But I suppose it's what bounces off the back of that. So it don't matter as long as conversations are being had. Yeah,
because every conversation, every exchange is still learning, like picking up nuances from people.
Yeah, and that goes back to, that's like what you were saying.
We've got all these different layers of communication. Surface level communication is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just talking shit about fabric conditioner.
No, we all
what's
do
wrong
it.
with that? You're still communicating, aren't you?
It's funny though, because I still struggle with... I still struggle with those kind of conversations. Like, I find them... Like, I really do. I don't know if it's arrogance or what, but it's quite often if I'm sitting in... like at work or something and there's those conversations being had, I'm up and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
fag time.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say I don't glaze over when people just start talking about surface stuff, but it's still communicating. It's still saying something.
Yeah, maybe I'm being arrogant.
It might be a little bit of arrogance, and I've felt it myself before when you think, oh God, have you got anything like decency? Is that really all you've got going on? You're so shallow. Yeah. And it's like, who am I to say that? I don't know what's going on in their life.
But that might be like the little ramp that leads up to, and I'm feeling like this because like my dad's just died or this has happened.
Yeah.
Or you're just in a circumstance where like you're with people who no one really knows each other that well, so...
you don't want to lay it all bare for them.
And you might even just be saying the stuff that you think the other person wants to hear, kind of thing.
Yeah, that conditioning.
Yeah.
Conditioned things are what we talk about the weather, don't we?
That's what Peter was talking about, conditioning it. Like you on the radio yesterday, played a clip, and that was Peter talking about conditioning. And how we're conditioned to do it. And I do it. Like, I did it at work the other day and started talking about the weather, and I'm like, why the fuck am I talking about the weather?
Yeah.
I don't talk about the weather.
That's an icebreaker, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a way of engaging.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like someone said to me, like people will always naturally feel the silence. Like if you're talking to someone and you don't really know what to say, it's okay to not say anything because the other person will say something and it'll be just the first thing they see or the first thing that comes into their head. But naturally, two humans can't really sit in silence for too long without someone going...
So
bit warm in here, isn't it? Yeah, there'll be something that someone says.
I'm awful for filling the silence, and like I tell you, my mum is the queen of. She can't have it go by any time without filling the silence, and sometimes I'm just like, just don't. It's like, sometimes I'm just like, why are you saying that? And like, it's just because she gets anxious, and like, I do as well, and I've inherited that. And I do it. So like, I do sometimes consciously think, like I was having a fag with some people at work the other day and no one was saying anything. And I was like, let's see how long I can go.
Yeah, but I guarantee it would have been saying, back on the menthols or like something like...
A comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember. I think it was Reese and they just went, I'm fucking knackered. I was like, oh yeah, God.
That's a good one. Oh, I'm tired. Like everyone's tired, aren't they? It's I'm tired.
But like that in itself, you know, you talk about not saying the word hate, which is a great one. Not saying I'm fucking tired is a good one, because I think quite often we just say we're tired and we're not, and then when we say we're tired, we feel tired.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed I'm not as tired as I used to be all the time.
See, I feel like I am constantly tired.
So much.
It's when people, and I realise it, because when people say, "Oh, why is that?" And then I go, "Well, I got in at 8, I woke up at 2, and then the kids woke up, and then it was hot, and then there was fox outside, and I can like reel off loads of stuff." But then when you sort of ask other people and they go, "Oh yeah, I don't really know," it's like it's like the conversation starter. It's just that continuation of it.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I guess that's a conditioning thing. And I think the thing is, though, if you're saying you're tired, then you start to feel tired, and then you are tired, and then everything's fucking hard work and shit.
Yeah. It's having that something in common with who you're talking to as well. And chances are they're either tired or they're in the same weather as you. So that's like two definite things that you're going to go, oh, yeah, the weather.
I guess what I'm getting at, though, is that if we can condition ourselves. We can, can't we? Like, we have... It's within our gift to condition ourselves, and we can do it quite easily. Like Peter, my therapist, has said, like, you know, it's just how you think about things, and by doing that and being consciously aware that I'm thinking about that in the wrong way, I'm making myself feel like shit, and now I'm like, well, I won't do it because actually that's up to me. I have got the power not to do that. And I never used to even know that. So now I do that so often that now I'm like, I just don't tend to do it. I don't go straight into a negative well. And then you go, I did it. And now I start thinking, I can condition myself to do other shit.
Power of the mind, isn't it?
Yeah, I can start saying, well, I don't do that anymore. So I'm definitely going to stop saying, I'm going to take that hate away.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to make a conscious effort.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, every time I start thinking, I hate that. You know, like, because... And I realised that when you said it, I realised how often I do it.
Yeah, I've just been sitting here thinking the same thing.
Now.
Yeah.
Because I started thinking, like... And I do it because sometimes I think, oh, that's me. You know, like, people like...
That's part of my identity.
Yeah.
I hate everything. Yeah.
But it's a flippant comment as well. If you think like Marmite, love or hate it. Oh, I hated that film. Oh, I hated EastEnders last night. It's the same with love as well. It's kind of bounded around a lot, isn't it? Whereas really it should be like the most loaded, meaningful word ever. And like for me, hate didn't seem such a bad thing to say. But when you say it like that, I'm like, oh God. And I say it quite a lot as well.
I do.
And like you say, it is a poison. It's kind of...
Yeah, because I think, you know, like, I always think, people always find it quite funny when I like go on about how much I hate vegetables. And I always think that's really funny.
Yeah.
But I just dislike them. I don't actually hate them.
Like you would eat them if you had to eat them, wouldn't you?
But like, people are always really amused the fact that I fucking hate fucking sweet corn.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me angry.
Sweet corn's like king of the vegetables. How can you hate sweet corn?
I hate a lot of things, Brad.
Well, we need to change that.
I need to change that. And the other thing I also, the guy Mark I work with, is a really sensitive guy, and like we see eye to eye on most things. And the other day, someone was like, "Oh, don't drink that milk, it's out of date," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not out of date. You know, like it don't smell shit, so I'm gonna put it in my coffee." And they're like, and I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking scumbag, I don't give a fuck. And then he was like, don't say that about yourself, you're not a scumbag. And I was like, oh shit, Peter told me about that. Like the things you tell yourself.
Power of language.
Yeah, the things you tell yourself are really important. So even just a little thing like that, like, I'm a scumbag. It's like, I must feel that somewhere along the line. So, and then saying it's not helpful.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? I think it's called something like that, which makes sense.
But like, and then I notice it again when some guys like has podcasts going, and like, I'm really self-deprecating because I don't want to go. I don't want to come across as being like arrogant about it. But in reality, so like you just go, oh yeah, it's going alright, but it could be going better, that kind of thing. When actually it's like you could just be saying, it makes me feel really good.
Yeah. I've got a script. I normally say, oh yeah, like we've had a really good response and stuff like that. It's like an instant thing I kind of say. Whereas really we should be saying like yeah.
But is that because we're embarrassed or we're not used to those feelings?
It was weird at work because I
What
told
do you think, Helen?
I'm a big fan of experiments. So I'm a big fan of like, well, as an experiment, like for the next week, what happens when people ask you how the podcast going? If you go, I'm just so proud of myself.
amazing, yeah.
As an experiment, what's
Yeah.
going to happen?
Yeah.
See what happens. See how you feel. I'm really proud of myself. It's really cool. I'm doing so well. Just as an experiment.
Yeah, it almost feels like uncomfortable to think it, doesn't it? But
Yeah, it does.
we should be. We really should be, mate.
Why
Like,
are people so ashamed of feeling proud of themselves?
yeah, it feels like we need to be humble about it. And
Why?
I hadn't even told anyone at work. And when I said about where I was going, I was like, oh, we're like going on the BBC to talk about my podcast. No one knew about it at all.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, it's amazing. Like, I want to listen and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's kind of very odd for me because I tried to keep it a little bit humble at work. And now everyone's talking about it. But I suppose why shouldn't they be, I guess?
Well, if you think back to that, like withdrawal and deposit, withdrawals is like what we give to other people. You are both so complimentary to everyone else. You're amazing. I remember being quite self-deprecating at work once and saying something about being fat. And you went, you're perfect. What's the matter with you? You're perfect.
Nice.
And it's like, that kind of thing has stayed with me.
Yeah.
Because what other people say about you, you should listen.
Yeah.
But you should say it to yourself as well.
Yeah.
So the withdrawals you give out to other people, you're great, you're amazing, you should feel really proud of yourself. Take some of that back as a deposit as well. Say the nice things about yourself.
That's so cool. So don't ever really.
Just as an experiment.
No, yeah.
For a week. What's going to happen? I love an experiment.
Yeah, I do agree with
It's the
that.
only way you'll ever really learn as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know, and like you just think, and that's like it's about making things like putting it into little manageable chunks.
Yeah.
And like, I think, like I say that to people at work. I'm like, well, you know, everyone else is going, well, what are you going to do with your life then? You know, like you're going to have to get a job. And then I'm like, don't say that to them. Just say, what are you going to do? Like, you got any plans for the year?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Like, what do you reckon you could do this year? Is there anything you ain't done, or or like, what could you try this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that sounds a lot more like skydiving, bungee jumping, rather than go and get a job, go and work in a bank.
Because
unless
it's too big, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's too big. It's too grand. It's
Yeah.
like saying what you're going to do with your life.
Yeah.
Because like I still don't really know what I'm going to do. With
Nobody
my life. You know,
knows.
You just don't know.
knows. No one
And like,
knows.
what I think is important to say as an adult, like I've just fallen into things, and then you fall into one thing, and then you might fall into something else and go, oh fucking hell, that's all right. I'll stick with that for a bit. You don't actually have to make these final decisions.
No.
Because like my life's changed vastly over the years, you know, and you don't have to. Yes, everybody, experiment. So you've to our 37 countries listening now.
Well, it's 37 watching, and all of the other countries listening.
Yeah,
All the countries.
all of them.
All of them. How many are there? 252?
I don't know.
Or is that the amount of bones we've got in our body?
Got more
I
bones.
only
than-
remember numbers. I don't remember like facts, and I can only remember two numbers: 252 and 7.
Why do you remember 7?
Lucky number.
Oh, I haven't got a lucky number. I would have said 13,
Which are.
just to be dark.
It is lucky for a lot of
But
people.
it's like your identity, isn't it? It's like your identity, and you kind of like, that's me. Like recently, I was thinking, like, this was like talking to Eddie about artwork, and going like, I want everything to be black and white and red. You know, like everything I do is black and white and red, because I like the simplicity, and I also think it visually works. And I was like, so like, yeah, and I only wear black and white. And I was thinking, yeah, it carries through, and I like that. But then I was thinking, I don't know if I'm that person anymore.
Wow.
As an experiment.
Yeah. Splash on a little bit of
You
pink.
don't do it.
Little bit of
You
blue.
haven't
Yeah.
done it yet. You do.
I
You-
do.
I have seen you
I
in a
do.
splash of colour occasionally.
Do you know
I think
what?
last
When
time I
I'm
saw
doing
you
my
had, like, a
dancing,
flower.
I've even worn pink.
Yeah,
And that's a big deal.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I'm ready to do that. This has been a long commitment.
Colour things are important. Like we're having it with the kids at the moment because naturally you look at pink stuff for Olive and blue stuff for Buddy and that, and I'm like, no, we'll swap that around.
Yeah.
Like when there was like a choice between a pink toothbrush and a green toothbrush, that's definitely a song. And I was like, I'll have the pink one. Like I tried to play it all cool, and even Buddy was a bit like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'll have the pink one, like, no problems. And you could sort of see him thinking, oh, like, it doesn't have to be, like, boy colours, girl colours and stuff
My
like that.
son Jude was doing that about colours, and he was going, like, oh, yeah, don't like pink. And I'm like, and I was going, when I was your age, my favourite colour was pink. And my parents tried to tell me that I shouldn't like pink. It's like, why the fuck does that matter?
Yeah.
I was like, if you want to like pink.
Yeah.
Just like what you like. Because I just think the thing is like whatever's in your head is like you don't necessarily have to share it all, do you?
No.
So it's kind of up to you what you think. In many ways.
Yeah, we have the stuff that we probably
empowering.
like we say, and like we say our scripts of like what we want to portray to other people. But then, like we said before about the clothes, like, and I think a lot of that stems from school. So like you wouldn't necessarily wear certain things because you think you might have taken the piss out of someone for wearing it at school. You might have had the piss taken out of you at school, and I think that's you still carry that from school. It's just sort of flicking through your clothes and you think, oh no, I won't wear this because of that. I won't wear this. But essentially, you should be able to reach into your wardrobe, close your eyes, pull anything out, chuck it on, find yourself outside, and just get on with your day. But it's
that's why
the hardest thing in the world. Oh, what? Because it's so forgiving.
Put on a black t-shirt and black jeans.
Yeah, I must admit, I wear a lot of black.
Yeah,
it's easy, isn't it? It is so much easier.
So let's talk about school because it's funny because I was talking about like my kids went back to school today, and my daughter amazingly went up to set 1. She was in set 2 for everything. She went up to set 1 and a couple of things.
That's so cool.
And it's like she's almost when she told me she was pleased, but she was also embarrassed.
Wow.
Which is weird. I think it was mostly because most of her friends aren't in set 1. So she's kind of like embarrassed. She wants to be with her friends, and she don't want to be different, and that makes her different when she should. But I say, yeah, I'm really proud of that. But you don't, because you feel like you need to belong to your group and that kind of thing.
It's because it's safe, I suppose, and familiar.
So what was your experience of school like, Helen?
I hated it.
Why did you hate it?
Hated? I just used the word, didn't I?
Oh. Need to balance it out.
I disliked school. I don't know. It was just a clash with me and my problems that I was having at the time. And it's like you've got the expectation that you're going to go to school and do exams and socialise when actually you want to sit at home and get bollocksed or cut your arms up or something. You don't really want to go to school, do you?
You are just thrown into it, really, aren't you, to be fair.
I started off all right. Junior school was okay. The beginning of senior school, I was in top sets for everything. That nosedived quite quickly. I suppose I had friends at school. I didn't think of them as friends at the time. I didn't really like anyone. Didn't want to hang about with anyone. I thought I was very goth, which was a bit of a standout from all the other chavs at the school, and I don't know. I can remember one time hanging about with a group of people that I didn't like at all, and they were all like taking the piss because I had all like cut marks up my arms and that. And they're going, "Go on, do it again. Go on, do it in front of us. Come on, here, you do it with this." And it's like, kids are cruel.
Yeah.
Kids are cruel little bastards sometimes.
I remember being at school and I got into poetry, and I was like well into. I feel separate. I feel different. I had lots of friends, but I felt separate. I felt completely different to everyone else. I didn't feel like I fitted in at all, and I was massively self-conscious. And I was like, and I didn't know where to turn. And I remember like doing poetry and everyone taking the piss, and And then I remember once mentioning that, like, oh, I might go to church. Just because I felt lost.
Mm.
And, like, I just got loads of shit for that. It's like, and then you learn, you just don't talk.
Yeah.
And then you learn, I just keep it all in. Don't talk about it.
It's crazy to think now, like, in the circles that you're in, some would go, oh, that's cool. And just, like, just have an open kind of forum with it.
No, I reckon if I went, oh, I'm going to start going to church, like that if I decided that now, that wouldn't go down well with my wife, for starters.
Yeah.
And most of my friends would be like, oh, whoa. Because it's so far removed from our lives and lifestyles. I'm not going to do that.
But it doesn't need to be like such a big thing. It might just be that you go one Sunday and then you come out again and that's it. Don't mean like you're going to put a collar on and start like walking around with your hands together and stuff.
But I think that's indicative of like how I felt at the time.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of feeling like, fuck, I can't make sense of anything. Like, I just don't fit in.
Who can at that age though?
No,
Who can make sense of things? Who does actually fit in? None of them do.
Which is really becoming apparent to me when I see like with my daughter. Like my daughter's been really anxious and things, and like she's really worried about her GCSE results now. I'm like, it don't matter. But then my wife's going, don't tell her it doesn't matter, because my wife's very much stick to the rules. No, you need to do well at school. And I'm like, well, it don't matter now. You know, like, I remember like when I was at school, you used to really worry that if I do that, it'll go on my record. Yeah. It's like, and then now, you know, working in like the criminal justice system, and you're like, you know what a record really is. And like, it only really matters if you get done for something serious. You know, like your school record, who gives a fuck? Like, I went to university and they didn't just go, right, you've got your copy, here's the tone. He once got thrown out of Spanish class. He's a fucking bastard. You know, like, it's bullshit.
You know, like a little black ribbon.
But like but they all tell you that to keep you in line. Yeah. And it's like, no. And you kind of I want to kind of say to my daughter, like, that's all bullshit. But in the same respect, I don't want her to then go like disregard convention.
It's getting a balance, I think, with it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean. You don't want them to disregard convention because then they'll have a difficult life. Yeah.
It come up today because Buddy started yesterday and he's got a new teacher. And he come home and he was like, oh, she's really strict. And when we met her before, obviously she wasn't, because you meet them like before the 6 weeks holidays. And then like I was saying to Kate, I think they have to be strict for the first couple of days to enforce the, right, you've had 6 weeks off of doing whatever you want. Now, if you want to talk, you put your hand up, and want to go to the toilet, you come over and ask me and stuff like that. You kind of have to set the rules kind of thing. But it is difficult because you think back to those times. You remember being so scared of like the teacher and a headmaster or the headmistress and worried about doing anything. And then when you do something, like, oh, what's going to happen? Going to get well done in now. And it's like nothing essentially is going to happen, but it's for keeping in line, isn't it? Control. It's preparation for work,
it is
really.
Control. And it is. It's like schools are like a little microcosm of the world in a building. What was it? So what was your experience at school?
Mine was quite mad. Like, I did my utmost to do whatever was popular.
Are you filming you?
No. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school enough to... I didn't go to film school, did I?
Didn't need to. Fucking good at it.
Thanks, man. I did my utmost to do whatever was popular, to stay popular at the time, and then didn't realise what I was doing in the moment. And then when I'd get home, I'd be like, oh, fucking hell, just because everyone was taking the piss out of Gemma... It didn't mean I had to do it. So then I would actively go out my way the next day to sort of include whoever it was, making the name up Gemma, to kind of balance it out a little bit. And when I think back, essentially all I really wanted to do was just go home and play my guitar all the time. But I never used to play guitar at school because it wasn't really the popular thing at the time. It was more DJing and stuff like that. So I had decks, got into garage and drum and bass and everything else because like there was 1-2 other people that had decks and everyone wanted to go around the house. So that's kind of what I did. And I just kept doing that.
See,
up
this
until
is
about like
interesting,
5 years ago.
and you're
whatever.
still doing it.
I am, yeah.
It's
I
that
am.
kind of people pleasing, go away and then feel guilty and then want to make amends.
Yeah, I do get like
It's difficult.
messages come out of me like normally the next day, especially after having a drink. Kind of what I meant by that is this, and I didn't mean to say this, that, and that. Whereas really, essentially, a lot of it probably was the truth that I said when I was pissed, and I should just let it go. And if they're meant to be in my life, they would ring up and go, "That was a bit mental last night, wasn't it? So anyway, what we're doing today," kind of thing, and just go like that. But you have to kind of learn as you go, don't you? Really.
Yeah, and you do. And I think like now, I think it's only now when I kind of know myself. Like now I don't feel like I need to. I do. I say that, but I still do it to some extent. Like when you try and impress people and things. But I don't feel the need to do it nearly as much. And I kind of. It's only really, and it really is like just this last year or so when I started to think I kind of know myself now.
I think it comes with
I
age as well.
understand myself.
Like relaxing a lot more and forgiving yourself and everything. But something that I've just thought of, for me anyway, is around that time, obviously, with my mum and dad splitting up, I was kind of looking for a new family, essentially, and a new group or a new comfort area. So I was at the time, and I think it is the same for a lot of people in school. You're kind of looking for your little groups, like you say, like the goths, the mods, like, I didn't go to school in the 70s, but like the different, you know what I mean, break dancers or whatever it was, people who like Pokemon or Pogs, and you're kind of like pointing yourself in that sort of direction. You try it for a little while, and then someone go, "What? You're a mug. Like, why are you in with that lot? Come over here." And then you go over there, and you push and pulled all over the place.
So your need for acceptance would have been ramped up.
Totally.
Wouldn't it? Ramped up more than mine. Like I needed. My need was the same. I think. You know, like I recently I've kind of come to the conclusion that most people who are like having problems with mental health, it generally is pretty much identity and need for acceptance and needing to feel cared for. And like at some point you haven't. So you spend your life needing to, and because you don't, you blame yourself. Do you think? Like that's kind of the conclusion I've come to. And I think I kind of seen it quite a lot to kind of make me feel that. So generally, whenever you approach anyone and they're having a hard time, it's normally because they've got no one around them and makes them feel. See, the funny thing is with me is that my mum was so far that way and beyond, but that still wasn't enough. Because the people I wanted acceptance from, I needed acceptance from men.
Is it like we were saying though, you're focusing in that darker direction rather than looking around you and what you did have?
Yeah, as you said. But yeah, I could see how your kind of need for acceptance was ramped up by 100.
Yeah, totally. It's still there.
Yeah, it is. Sort him out, Helen.
Fix me.
Fix him now.
No, it's all part of the journey. I think I'm on the journey for it. But
yeah, you do seem to be though.
The bank thing, like the deposit thing, has really struck a chord.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm well in debt, both physically and metaphorically.
But it's funny because I was talking about this the other day about like Brad was going, "Oh, fucking work's a nightmare," and I'm like, "Work's always a nightmare." You know, like it just. Unless you're doing something you really, really fucking love. But I was saying, like, I was thinking I could be playing second guitar on the Foo Fighters and I'd still have days and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Dave, have we really got to do 3 hours tonight? You know, like, that would still happen. You'd still have
it's
days
still work, isn't it? Work.
Essentially, you could still be doing something you love doing, but you still have days when you don't want to do it. So work is work. And like, and I think when I was younger, that used to be an adverse thing. Because it was like, all work's shit. Because my dad always hated these jobs. So work is shit. So what's the fucking point in work? That's what's the point in living. Because work's inevitable. And it was only from doing jobs when I started to think, actually, the best thing about the work is who you work with.
definitely.
It's like who you make
it's always
friends
the
with.
people that you miss when you
I
move
remember the
on.
people
Yeah.
more than the jobs.
Yeah. So actually, that's one of the more important things. And I know that doesn't always work for you, though, does it? Because you'll have different people.
Yeah, different work in different places and that. But the job I'm on at the moment, because of how shit it is, the people are actually amazing, and the bad ones have kind of fallen away. And the people that we've got there at the moment are incredible because we've all been through hell
And they'll
and back.
stay because they like you,
Yeah.
and you like them. So work is work. It's like it's almost like it's not worth getting fucked off about it.
No.
It's kind of like it's an inevitable thing, and if you get on with a few people, then that could well be as good as it gets. And it's like, well, you might as well just grab hold of it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's back to the withdrawal thing. Work is a massive withdrawal. Unless you're going to go and like live in a field where you don't deal with money or anything, you've got to do some kind of work, haven't you? And that's a stress. It's always going to be a stress. Even if I love my job, I really, really love my job, but there's no way I'm not in debt at the end of a week of counselling broken children. And it's, at the end of your working day, you go home, and what are you going to do with that time? Are you going to carry on with the withdrawal, and not give anything to yourself? Or are you going to find a bit of space for yourself?
So that's what I was saying about this is what I was saying yesterday was like with the podcast is something for us. So and there's your balance. So work might be shit, but actually we're getting loads of nice rewards out of what we're doing. Like even just sitting here, and now it's kind of nice. We're learning things, and it's a reward. So actually, it starts to balance out. That's kind of how I see it all, really, and that makes sense to me now. It didn't before, because I used to do what you said. My rewards weren't really rewards. I'd drink far too much fucking wine. I'd feel fucking dreadful the next day, and that would make the next day worse, which meant I was depositing even more. Not
Withdrawing
even more.
Yeah.
Withdrawing. Have you noticed that? You've come on as our guest, and me and Brad are like, oh yeah, we do that. And it just ends up me and Brad fucking counselling each other.
Well, that's mental. Like a good thing, and that's like something that the BBC picked up on, and it is our therapy, really.
Yeah.
I really need this. I really, really do. It's very important for me. And yeah, there's a long way to go, I think, still, but it is an important part of what we're doing, definitely.
But again, I guess what you could say there's a long way to go, but like a really small thing could be a really long way. Like I've really noticed that for therapy is that it will be that kind of off the cuff comment, and you're like, fuck, and like that could actually really move you forward. So it's not actual time, is it? It's concepts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it does make sense.
So it's not. You don't think of it as a long term thing.
No.
Like it's not like you haven't necessarily got a long way to go. You only need to hear one thing, and that could be pretty much the answer.
I agree.
It's a strange old thing.
It is.
It is.
And these little nuggets are helping me greatly.
Good, and you'll be hearing them for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Little nuggets from here, little nuggets from there.
That's so true. Because there's a lot of stuff like Pete was particularly good because he would just basically just give you. That's pretty much that was the therapy. Oh, you've
I've been to
Oh, I forgot about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so Pete will give you he just gives you. It basically just gives you what's the best term for it? Like in America, bumper stickers. It'll give you it's like it just sticks a bumper sticker on you.
I like that.
And it's like a really short phrase. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's because it's manageable and tangible, and you can you'll find yourself laying there at night saying the same thing rather than explaining like the whole concept. Like the bank thing, it's in and out, and it just makes perfect sense. It's something you can kind of grab hold of, because potentially the people that you're talking to at the time, everything is confusion and fear and nerves and everything else. So if you can cut through it with like a really simple metaphor for something, and they can kind of take that with them, I think that's more important. Like even if it's like 3 seconds out of the hour, that they take with them. That's why.
No, that's right. That's totally right. It is. It's like just because you can't remember. You're not going to remember the best part of 2 hours.
No.
You'll remember a phrase, and that phrase will resonate, and you'll just carry it along, and that'll be it. You've got it. You've got it all the way along.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny. So last time I saw Helen, I've been doing a tattoo for Harvey, her son, who I'm very fond of Harvey. I've got right a soft spot for Harvey. I can't help myself. And I've got a soft spot for all you guys. I think you know that. But particularly Harvey. Well, no, particularly you, but then Harvey. And yeah. So Harvey came around for a tattoo, and then me and Helen spent the whole time talking about Peter. Really, just how brilliant Peter was, because he's fucking good, isn't he?
We've had a lot of good comments from his episode as well, which has been good.
But I want Harvey to go and see Peter as well.
I was trying to talk him into it.
I know.
I really was. I'm surprised he hasn't done it. But again, you can't make someone go to therapy.
No.
People need to want to do it.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
important, isn't it?
And that's why I was talking about the despair. Sometimes despair is there for a reason. You have despair for a reason because it forces you into action. And I quite often find myself saying to people when they feel really low, I'm like, oh, you've got to go and see my man Peter. And I'm trying really hard to tell them, like, if you go and do this, then you'll stop feeling shit. You'll stop feeling shit straight away. And then you'll start feeling better and your life will be better. And they're like, yeah, all right. And then they don't. And I'm not talking about you, Brad.
You are.
Although, no.
I know you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about you on this occasion, but this does all apply to you.
Yes.
But again, you don't. It doesn't happen until like you're like, oh, I've got no choice. Sometimes, and I like the phrase, "action is the enemy of thought." Like if you start taking action on something, you instantly start to feel better because. Like, just because you know you're doing something about it, and then suddenly it's just not as powerful. Like, I think I got that from a film, and I really like that. I can't remember what film it was. But
That's that little 3 seconds. So I don't even have to remember the film. It's just a bit, the takeaway a bit. Like, great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
yeah, I don't like that one so much. But action is the enemy of thought. I think it's a brilliant one because when you're taking action, you're not thinking, and like like if you go right, I'm going to go to the doctors. Like there's been a few people who've got in touch with us and said, oh, like I've listened to your episode and fuck it, I'm going to go book an appointment at the doctors. And I'm like, fucking win.
Yeah.
Like that is so brilliant because I know that for the week they're waiting to go to the doctors, they'll instantly feel better in that week at least. Because they'll be like, all I've got to do is hang on till I go there. So for a week, they're going to have a little bit of fucking peace from their brain because they know they're doing something. And that's the action part.
I've had a lot of those messages actually. It's nice. Nice to know that people are actually like, do you know what? I'm going to go and make a change. It's important.
Yeah, I think so. I do. Very muchly.
Look at you filling that gap of silence.
Yeah, that's like what we said. Yeah, exactly what we said.
Oh, it's gone quiet.
Yeah. We don't have many silences, do we? I think that's our second one.
Yeah, we did have silence a few weeks ago.
I filled it with an advert. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, what? Can you pick where the adverts go?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish Acast would give us some money.
Sure they will.
I really want a new guitar.
Yeah. From Fender.
It's about time.
Or Gibson.
Yeah, we've got sent another guitar. It really is. Well,
we have just done another 2-hour podcast.
Have we just done another hour?
Yeah.
You're joking. Wow.
Well, should we wrap it up then?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's been really cool though.
Thanks.
Really, really cool. Had a nice time.
Thank you to our first woman. Our first woman.
Pioneer.
It's funny because I've arranged like what we do as a rule is we have like, well, I know it's just become that way because we've had quite a lot of people get in touch and they want like saying, "Can we come on?" I'm like, I don't want to say no to anyone or anything at the moment. Plus, I'm just really interested in what people have got to say because it's people's stories and it's interesting.
I always like the one after when you've had a guest, when you're talking and you're thinking back. I like that bit as well.
Yeah, we reflect.
When you're like, oh.
Yeah, because that's like when...
That's the standard rule, really, is that we'd have someone for an hour and then we'll chuck them out. And then
talk about them behind their back.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that.
No.
But like we'll reflect a little bit.
It's important because I already can't remember what we've spoken about other than like the one nugget about the bank bit. But then when we do reflect back, that's when it's like there's the saying that to learn something properly you should teach it to someone else. And the saying back of it, like reaffirming it.
That's a really good one as well.
Yeah, so that's for us, I think that's what we're doing, is that's us kind of piecing it together and kind of cementing it in that episode and then but taking away what we want to take away for next time.
But that's like you with being a counsellor. I don't like the word counsellor.
Why? What don't you like about it?
The idea of therapist, I don't know.
Oh, because it sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler.
It does sound
counsellor
cooler.
doesn't give it enough weight, I don't think. I love the fact that you've gone and just done your own thing.
Out on my own? Yeah.
I've got so much respect for it.
I talked myself out of it quite a lot of times.
Yeah, I know.
And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it now.
So have you got like a website or Facebook or...
Oh yeah, do you want to
well, not really a website. I'm on Facebook. Safe to Say Counselling Limited.
I like that, it's nice.
I've shared Helen's things a few times,
You have,
and I strongly recommend it. I've recommended you to a few people. I don't know if they've come across, but I was like, I really recommend Helen.
Thanks.
And I think after today, I don't know. I think just you saying the deposit thing, I think a few people will be like, "Fuck, that's a good idea."
I think we're going to change some lives.
Yeah, so Safe to Say Counselling. Do it. And I as I say, I love the fact you've gone and done it for yourself. It's really, really cool. It's like part of the new you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It feels like the full cycle, really.
Yeah.
From where I came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've been really supportive with that, because I would never even have gone on to my level 4 had you not gone, just do it. Brilliant. Like you used to. Just do it.
Stop thinking about it, just fucking do it.
Absolutely.
It's true though.
It is true.
Like, you can overthink everything.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Helen. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
It's been lovely.
Yeah, it has been lovely.
And we'll see you and hear you all next time. Same place, same time. Wherever, whatever.
Yeah.
Go and deposit some stuff.
I like seeing myself in the camera, you see. Say, Boston.
But it's just
Good night.
weird for the people who are just listening, though, because they can't see what you're doing.
Alright, see you later then.
If you want to see what Nick's doing, go and download the Hear Boston app or look at us on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't put it all on YouTube.
All right. Thanks for listening. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.